Devil in Disguise, the John Wayne Gacy story. I started watching it. It's on Peacock. The interesting part is it's a series, but it's done really well and it's factual. It's not like the Ryan Murphy baloney that gives you a bunch of made up stuff in the series. And I watched it, and this is a series, like acting, a story, and then also they have a documentary. So this came out in October, and they have a documentary on Peacock, same name, Devil in Disguise, John Wayne Gacy story. And it's a documentary that came out in March. So after I saw the series, I went back and saw this one, which is the documentary, which gives so much more detailed information. It's much more interesting. The series is good. It's well made. But this one gives you a lot more detail, including him, the actual guy talking from jail to the reporter, journalist, whatever. And also the family members and how they mislabeled people, the victims, and how they had to break off the jaws, and because the only way they could tell who was through teeth. And how 20-30 years later they're digging up stuff, a place where the mom lived in the apartments that he was the super of, and they were trying to dig up stuff to see if there were more bodies, because they believed there was more than the 33 boys that they found in under the house where he lived. It's a really crazy story, and it's just insane that he's a chunky guy. So he had the young guys that would work in his construction company dig all these things in the crawl spaces under his house, and he had help putting those bodies in there, because he's a fat guy and he's not gonna even fit in there, let alone have the wherewithal to put these bodies down there. So there's so much more to the story we don't know, and they talk about all this in the documentary. And also the house that all this happened at, they demolished it and they built a new house and they changed the address. But it's truly crazy. How can you do that with so many people? And like every weekend were you doing this? Every Thursday? Did you have a schedule? It's a crazy story, and it's disgusting. We have prostitutes. You can pay them and you can do your stuff, and you don't, why the killing? I don't get that part. His sister also speaks out in the documentary. So it's interesting to see her take on, she's like, I don't know when this happened, and I don't know what happened to him that he doesn't tell me about, but there must have been a turn somewhere. His dad was an alcoholic and would probably beat him. But that, unfortunately, is not very uncommon, and you don't end up, being a killer because of it. It's just a really crazy story. And what's the craziest part is he was like a regular person. He was super personable, and he talked a lot of crap, and he was social and all that. So that's what makes it sound even worse. Although evil people don't really have a way to look, it could be anybody. And he had connections to politics, and they're thinking maybe they're covering up for politics. And the police work, obviously, was terrible back then, right? Because they didn't do their jobs, and they dismiss people saying certain things, or someone's missing and they tell no, the kid ran away, and they don't really follow up. Or if the guy's gay, the police brush it under the rug because they don't care about those kind of people and all that stuff. Also, the fact that he was married twice with kids, and both women left him. The second one he married was a friend of his sister's, and they would notice things in the shed, at least the second wife. She would notice stuff in the shed, like he would go in the shed and hang out there in the middle of the night, and there was chains on the roof and all this stuff. It's like she didn't say anything. Obviously, if she did say something, the police wouldn't have done anything anyways, because they don't do anything about anything. The police are so worthless sometimes, especially back then. But she did know something was off, and one day he told her, today will be the last day we have sex, maybe on Mother's Day, but other than that, I've decided we're no longer having sex. It's like, what? So she left him. He never saw his kids again. He never even tried. He never tried to call them. Nothing. Like, he could care less. It's just so bizarre, the whole story. And then he was like an entrepreneur, so he would do build outs and all that, and he would get young boys to work for him for low money, and that's how he would get his foot in the door with proposing people. Or he'll go to like where people are walking, and he'll say, oh, I'll give you a ride, and then he'll do that. He didn't kill all of them. He let some of them go. Oh my God, it's just insane, this story.